right. Next up, bagging and trashing.
AJ Green could go to the Saints.
So the Pats is what they're saying. That's like the big thing.
Or the Pats.
Well, and Julio to the Pats too is another one.
All right, let's get into bagging and trashing.
That was weird. We have no idea. It's a mystery.
Bagging and trashing. Now, we were just discussing the NBA and the new season. So, first question. Is Christmas too early to start a new NBA season? Bagging and trashing. Kick it off to you first, John.
I'm gonna trash it. If I trash it, that means I'm good with it. If I bag it, it means it's bad.
You're bagging it,
it's
right.
too early. You're bagging it, it's too early.
Right. So you trashing it or you
I'm
bagging
it? It's just I feel like I am trashing it. I feel like it's just I don't think it's too early. I think it's just right.
Yeah, John loves his basketball.
Right, John just wanted basketball back and shit. John can't get enough of basketball.
How long do they want to wait?
John just wants to see another Lakers win. That's what it is.
I mean, they were saying January. January is not that far, bro. If you talk about December, January is just next month.
Sure, your arm keeps disappearing and it's freaking me out.
Well, a lot of players.
Don't say the Lakers won the finals earlier this month, bro.
Yeah.
Right? Early October. They just not gonna get the usual one. The finals is usually in June. Like it takes 2 weeks of June, and they'll have the 2 weeks in June off. July and August, they're just not gonna have that 2.5 months off.
So usually, again, so when you make it to the finals, if you don't make it to the finals, you pretty much get like 6 months out into the new season start. If you make it to the finals, you usually get about 4 months off. So for the teams that made it to the finals, the finals just ended. So they really only get 2 months.
1 month off.
A month and a half, a month and a half off.
Now, we talk about that, but I forgot. There's like 10 teams that hasn't played since March.
Okay, but again, John. So I guess
it's like
right.
10 teams that haven't played since
I mean,
March.
those teams.
So John, do you think that the Lakers will benefit off of this though? Like, is this not cool for the don't you think if you're the Lakers, if you're Miami, you're like, yo, fuck that.
Yo, we already.
They do load management anyway. They'll be out.
You're gonna start out 0-10, and you're gonna be stressed. John's gonna be like, "Yo, why they start the season so early?"
Right, so Eddie, bagging the trash is Christmas too early to start the new NBA season.
I'm gonna bag it again because of that. I mean, again, yes, only 10. There are 10 teams that didn't even go to the bubble and haven't even played. But there are also teams that were eliminated early that did not make it to the playoff. Devin Booker and the Suns. I think that teams like that will benefit. I mean, let's not forget that the Golden State Warriors are going to rebuild and will get a pretty high draft pick and will be a really, really good team. So I think that does not benefit. And again, it's not that I want to try to look out for the Lakers or anything, but I don't think it's fair to them or the Clippers or the Rockets that the team that everyone's been afraid of forever that has been retooling and rebuilding is now going to have an opportunity to jump out ahead on these teams that have been pretty much the ball. Again, I mean, they could start off 10-0 and the Lakers could start off 0-7 and then, everyone's hitting the early panic buttons and all that stuff. But I mean, again, I know these guys are professional players, but at the end of the day, and I know the bubble wasn't a real season that people like to say, but these guys did play hard. These guys did put it all out there on the court, so I don't expect them to just, dust off this. And again, the important part too is to just say, okay, family, I really, really missed you all, and I really loved spending time with you, but I got to go again.
We're going right back to the bubble.
You get Thanksgiving with them, and that's it? You don't even get Christmas with your family? Come on. And I get that you want to get back to your original schedule, your original scheduled program.
Yeah,
hey, guess what? Do that next year. Do that in 2022.
That's basically what they're trying to do. They're trying to have it the 22nd and do a 10 games shorter to get back to the original date the next season. That's basically why they.
Yeah, right, you can reset next year.
So Drew, bagging the trash is Christmas too early to start the new NBA season.
Oh, this is a Halloween episode.
It is too early. I'm going to bag it, bro.
Right.
I'm going to bag that. It is too early because just like the people from finals, they don't really got I get it. The people that didn't make the bubble has been like out for months, but the people who are the Miami Heat and the Miami and the Lakers that made to finals, you only get just like you said, a month and a half off of and to scrounge all that training camps, fucking you got what is it, draft, you got training camp, and you got all that
free agency.
Free agency too. And you gotta do all that before you come back in December 22nd. Yo, Johnny, come on, bro. If you was a basketball player, you wouldn't be saying that shit.
Come on, bro.
All right, Kev.
I want to see that banner drop. That's what it is.
Man, I haven't seen my man Ice Train playing like 6, 7, 8.
So what? Ain't nobody fault but him.
They suck. That's why they ain't making.
Kev, bag of the trash it.
All right, so I'm gonna trash it.
That's
only one reason, because I say give the people what they want. Let them grown ass professionals. They getting paid bread. Let them figure out their little management or whatever. Give the people what they want.
Now y'all can talk, Drew. Give your point. I gave the floor to Kev.
Nah, because Akibo getting muted. Fuck you.
No, I didn't mute just you. I muted John too.
Yeah, I got muted on that.
I muted both of y'all because I said Kev, and then both of y'all started going. So that's why I muted y'all. But bag that shit, man. It's too early. And I'm not even a Lakers fan. I don't give a fuck really about the Lakers. But again, I'm not showing. Yeah, and Miami Heat and all the teams that made it to the playoffs. I don't care about the niggas that didn't win. Like, bro, you don't get a handicap because you was ass. Like,
yeah, word.
Let's make it as fair as possible. And again,
actually, I changed my mind. Trash it. The Knicks are gonna go on a fucking 9-0 run.
All right. Because they ain't gonna be playing nobody. Because all the teams,
they wish.
All the good teams gonna be sitting there.
They wish.
They gonna be sitting there good players, and then Knicks get 15 wins and shit that they
don't deserve. Just enough to make us not get the number 1 lottery pick yet again, and still be the worst team in the NBA. Fuck yeah.
Bro, that seems so crazy, bro.
The lottery is stupid. The lottery is stupid. We need another cold envelope. Fuck these ping pong balls.
Right. Next up on Bag of the Trash now, the New Orleans Pelicans just hired Stan Van Gundy to be their new head coach. As we know, Stan Van Gundy was behind the Dwight Howard and Orlando when they were really fucking good. So Dwight became a superstar under his coaching. So the question is, Bag of the Trash it. Is the Pelicans playoff bound with Stan Van Gundy? I'm going to throw it to you first, Drew. Bag of the trash it.
Trash it. There's too much good teams in the West. Like, they're really going to, unless they do like a never bubble type shit, I wish not bubble, playing tournament. But even with that, it's too much. You got the, let's break it down. You got the Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets, you got fucking Thunders, you got Rockets, you got Utah, you got Denver, you got Portland. Bro, there's too much.
Name what? 9 teams?
Phoenix.
Yeah, that's right. Devin Booker and the Suns.
There's too much going. Yo, we even got the Warriors.
Warriors.
The Warriors next season.
That's 10 teams. That's 10 teams.
Even the Warriors is jumping. The Warriors is going to be like in motherfucking like, I say like about like 4th. They're gonna be trouble, bro.
They're gonna be trouble, man. They're gonna be trouble.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Stan Van Gundy is a good coach, but they're not going to jump. The Pelicans is not going to jump all them teams. Just to be serious.
All right, John. Bag of the trash. Does Stan Van Gundy make Pelicans a playoff bound team?
Eventually, so I'm gonna bag it. Maybe not that first year, but eventually.
We're talking about the first year, John.
I hear the first year part.
John's going where I'm going.
John said the question and say.
It didn't say the first year.
It didn't say
I heard playoff bound.
I
like Stan Van Gundy's coach. The West is just a little too tough. They will have to make a move in here to make me see like, maybe that move might push them over the edge for a first year
is
playoff.
all hype.
Yeah.
No, he's not. But
Zion is hype.
But
get him out of here. Get him out. Come on, that's a benchable offense.
I see them growing.
It ain't benchable because he been saying this shit for the whole entire season.
Zion is hype, bro. He's a highlight reel. Bro, he Blake Griffin. He not that
We
good.
don't. Oh my God,
No,
the
that's
slander. That. Oh my God.
All right, Eddie, bag it or trash it.
I'm going to bag it to the sense of what John was saying. Again, I'm not talking about this year. I think this is a team that's semi-rebuilding. Obviously, they have the core piece in Zion. They got some nice pieces around them. Obviously, the Lakers traded two, key important players over there to help build around him. I think they do have an opportunity to now, like with Stan Van Gundy, Zion, and I guess Ingram. I don't really want to include Ball in there, obviously, because of who his dad is and what he's become since he's been in the NBA. But again, like that's if I'm a free agent, that's a place that I want to play. That's somebody I would want to play with. And again, I feel like if they can get a young, hungry team to fight, yeah, they can sneak in eventually. I'm not saying now. Yeah. Obviously, Drew rattled off 11 teams, and I think he lost count once he got to 9. But again, there are other teams that are more competitive. But I think eventually they will. I mean, Stan Van Gundy does have an above 500 record, and he did take his 08 Orlando team to the Eastern Conference Championships. And it looks like he finished as a coach. He finished within the top 5 every year, getting to the playoffs. So the guy knows how to coach. Can he coach these young guys?
Right.
We'll see. But
and that's how they look at it. Like his biggest claim to fame is taking a young Dwight Howard, putting the proper pieces and proper shooters with him, with Dwight and Jameer, and creating a really good team in Orlando at that time. They had Rashard Lewis. They had Turkoglu, Pat Garrett. They had a solid team around.
Matt Barnes, Petrus.
Yeah, right. Mount Barnes, Michael Petrus. They had solid pieces, shooters around the big man down low and shit. So
that's what they're going to do around Zion?
So that's what everybody's saying. If you take that same approach, put it towards the Pelicans team, it could make for an interesting team moving forward. But Kev, bag of the trash, does Stan Van Gundy make Pelicans a playoff-bound team?
I could bag it because I said eventually, but not this year. So yeah, bag it definitely. My understanding is that way too much experience, and assuming that this kid is not the real deal, then they should be good. Zion should be good.
Yeah. Again, just bag it as well. Not this season, but next year. That shit sounds crazy. I don't know why it's doing that. But again,
we don't hear nothing. Drew and Johnny, y'all hear something?
Me and Dev hear the shit out of it. Yeah.
I hear it, bro. Like, I mean,
Kev, do me a favor. Mute your mic one more time. Just one more time. Just for my sanity.
Mute your mic. It's Kev, man.
It's fucking Kev, bro.
Kev doing that bullshit, bro. It's
him. It just got a delay.
You, dude.
It just has a delay.
It's you.
I'm telling you, it's you, bro.
Don't shake your head. No, it's you. It's back. Oh, my God. Magically, it's back.
It's you, Dad. It's you, Dad. I'm sorry.
Bro, it's nothing here.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe it's the headphones. I don't know what it is.
And
but
because when I had my other headphones, y'all kept saying it was the same shit. And
but not this sound. It was
not this.
Sound.
This is different.
Yeah,
this is different.
This sound like the radiator and shit. Like,
man,
the steam coming out the radiator.
This is more and more of why we need a studio. So whoever is willing to sign us. It's a good podcast, man. Listen to it. We don't got a lot of followers just yet, but a lot of people listen.
Technical difficulties, but we
all day today.
Yeah.
My headphones went out.
All right, moving on from bag of the trash. Well, no, moving on to the next question, bag of the trash. Now, Miami, Fitzmagic, unfortunately, doing my man's dirty.
Poor Ryan, man.
So they, yeah, it's dirty. So, bag of the trash. Eddie, going to you first. Is this the start tour?
So I did a little deep analysis. I have my little list here. Give me 1 second. So obviously we've seen quarterbacks come into the league and either start right away and have some success. We've seen quarterbacks to sit a year and then have success. We've also seen guys that start right away and suck and become technically a bust And we've also seen guys that sat for a year and also became a bust. So I'm just going to rattle off 8 of the guys that sat their first year and succeeded. Carson Palmer, since 2003, is my basis. Carson Palmer, Eli Manning,
Aaron Rodgers,
Phillip Rivers, Aaron Rodgers, Alex Smith, Jay Cutler, who I don't really want to count because he had a little bit of success, Jared Goff, and then the most important one, Patrick Mahomes. But then you look at the 11 guys that sat and didn't do well. You had Rex Grossman being one of them, Tim Tebow, Drew Locker, Christian Ponder, Johnny Manziel, Paxton Lynch, Josh Freeman. Then you had guys like Roethlisberger, Flacco, Matt Ryan, Cam Newton, Andrew Luck, who's now retired, Robert Griffin III, who's now retired, Russell Wilson, Blake Bortles, who sucks now, Teddy Bridgewater, Derek Carr, Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, Carson Wentz, and Dak Prescott and Trubisky. Out of those guys that I just named, it's literally just Ben, Bridgewater, Carr, and Wilson. So I don't. While I do think Tua is ready, and on the Ryan Fitzpatrick side, I know he said he was heartbroken, but dude, you knew when they drafted Tua, you were done, right?
Right.
Like you knew that, right? Like I hope you understood that.
That's why.
But also at the same time is that the team has been having success. Now, granted, they're playing bad teams and they're beating these bad teams. You know, they're hanging their hat on that San Francisco 49ers win. But you know, you can't really count that. You know, Jimmy wasn't there. Well, wasn't fully there. Kittle was out.
So what happens if Tua torches the Ravens defense?
If Tua torches the Ravens defense, I won't be surprised because I think I'm on record saying that the Ravens are a fraudulent team this year. I don't think they're as good as the hype that they're getting all over the place. Drew, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. You're a fraud. You're as much of a fraud as the.
So bagging and trash it.
So that being said, do I think it's the wrong time? Yes. Therefore, I'm going to bag it. I think the Tua would benefit, especially with his health. Dude, one bad hit can break his fucking hip again. This guy has injury.
I mean, honestly,
he can't read defenses yet.
Wait.
He's not ready to read NFL defenses yet.
I got you.
I mean, the guy had 2 yards passing in the last series against the Jets last week, the whole stadium rocked. It's also Florida, because whatever. And even Fitzpatrick was happy for him. But again, let's not forget that this kid has been hurt every year he's blown up. So yeah, do you see good out of him? But then do you see him not being able to pick up a defense and not set the right protection and then get fucking lit up and then out for the rest of the year? That's not cool, man. The best guy you can learn from is a journeyman quarterback like Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's been around the league for centuries.
All right, Drew, bag it or trash it.
All right. The thing about it, if it's the injury part, all his injuries, I get that point. But what's the question? Is it too soon to start Tua? It's like I'm a trash it because Fitzpatrick didn't get robbed. I mean, didn't get slandered because he know what it was. You know what it was when you took this job. This was not going to be a job for the whole season. Like I did not see him being the starter all the way throughout. It's going to be Tua's job eventually. Now, the injury part, I do get what Eddie's saying. Like if he gets lit up, then that's bad. But it was going to happen anyway. Like whether it's this week or it's going to happen in the next few weeks, it was going to happen. Like this is Fitzpatrick was not starting this whole year, and that's what I have.
All right, Kev, bag of the trash. Is it the wrong time to start Tua?
Too early to start Tua.
Yeah, is it the wrong time to start Tua? Bag of the trash.
I'm gonna say trash it, man. I think the kid's ready. Obviously, he's gonna have some, up and downs, like some weeks, like reading defenses. But aside from the injury things, like if you really see like his background, I feel like he's really like the perfect example of ready for the next level. and there's gonna be some scheme and some shit like in the playbook that teams are just not gonna be expecting. So maybe he has like some issues after his first 5 games, like once they figure him out. And if he's who we think he is or should have been, potential #1 overall or second overall pick, I think he's gonna find a way to light teams up, bro. So I hope so, man. I hope it is the right time, but I don't think it's the wrong time.
All right, John, back to trash it. Is it the wrong time to start Tua?
I want to trash it because Fitzpatrick is my man, but I'm gonna bag it. I'm gonna bag it because this is the same way it happened with Eli. Kurt Warner at the Giants 5-4. Benched him, and the Giants lost 6 games in a row. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how Dolphins are gonna do when they after benching Fitz, but we shall see. But I'm gonna go. Eli proven to be a success story. I like Tua. Maybe Tua will be proven to be a success story. Right. It's his time to shine.
Yeah, and I'm a bag it too. Fitzpatrick definitely knew it was his time. Tua was there, and he was going to take his job. I don't think he knew it was going to happen so soon, being that Tua is so fragile and the injuries that he's dealt with so far in his professional, semi-pro, collegiate career, that Tua would step up so soon. And I don't know what the Dolphins stand to gain from putting Tua in at this point, especially with Fitzmagic playing the way he's been playing. Like,
yeah, I thought they was going to put him in like once they clearly not making the playoffs.
Right, exactly. Once the season is lost.
Once you're mathematically eliminated.
Right. Yeah. So then it's like it makes sense at that point to put him in. But right now the season is still early. What are they standing to gain from putting him in, especially with Fitzpatrick playing the way he's been playing? What do you gain from this? So,
yeah. And so I want to be clear.
That's my whole thing with it.
Yeah, I want to be clear too. Like, I'm rooting for it. They're not going to win the division. Let's be realistic. This is the Bills' division to lose at this point. But and again, we've seen some. There are 2 losses in a row against 2 really good football teams. So it's like, can they pick it up? Like, sure, that just means that they're like a first-round team eliminated. Let's just be clear though. As a fan, I am rooting for Tua. I do want him as a fan of football. I do want the guy to do well. I don't want him to be like the next Tom Brady because that would suck for me. But again, we've seen this formula work. Like Alex, like you have someone in Ryan Fitzpatrick, similar to Alex Smith in Kansas City, that is going to win you a few games. Again, he's not Alex Smith, and they don't have the weapons like the Chiefs do, so they're not going to go to the playoffs because I believe the Chiefs went to the playoffs that year and then lost to the Titans, right, before Mahomes. Sorry, that was the Revis slaps the interception and let Marcus Mariota catch his own touchdown. So, again, they did go to the playoffs. So, again, the team did show success while Patrick Mahomes did only start or he didn't start. He came in like the 4th quarter of the last game of the year, but then didn't touch the field again until after. Now look at the product of him now. Now, again, he is the exception because he is a freak of nature, and I don't think anyone can play like him. But, again, you gain to benefit a lot from watching a quarterback play ahead of you.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
And I think Tua is potentially that type of player. So, again, my state behind it is Miami. What are y'all goals for the season? Yeah. That's how I look at that because are y'all really looking to make it to the playoffs, and do y'all believe Tua has shown you guys enough in practice to take y'all there? Well, at least with Fitzmagic, there's a gunslinger. There's a chance. It's a possible chance.
I mean, I think they saw
the only thing that I really think happened. I think we blatantly saw something in practice that they're like, "Yo, is it ready?"
Right. Yeah, this kid is ready.
And he's probably going to read better.
Yeah.
And he probably does a lot better job at protecting the ball, like not giving up. And he's safe. Let's go.
Yeah, it has to be that. It has to be in practice. They see something that's like, yo, this fucking kid is ready to go. And they like, let's get it. Let's get him going right now. That's the only thing it has to be. But we'll see. So we wish you the best of luck, bro. We want to see you do good. I'm just trying to understand. We trying to see what Miami see. Hopefully we see it this
and
week.
I want to see one more year of Ryan Fitzpatrick in maybe where should he go, guys?
Chicago. He gonna go to Chicago.
Yeah, there you go. Yes, that's actually perfect.
That'd be a perfect spot.
Yeah, oh, that'd be perfect. Oh, thank you, Dev. Thank you. I need that assist.
If I'm the Dolphins, I thought Dallas give me a first-round draft pick for Fitz because they.
No, first round. Come on, John. That's a little.
They're not gonna give up a first round.
You might get a second. Also, that's John.
I'll be a straight nigga. Yo, Dawn just got knocked out. You got that 7th-round pick.
Yeah.
You want my quarterback? I'm taking Fitz.
That's not gonna happen, bro.
Well, let's let.
Obviously, it's not gonna happen. But I'm just saying, Dolphins have more leverage in the deal than what the Cowboys. The Cowboys is the desperate ones.
GM Jerry Jones has known to make some pretty awful decisions.
And we're gonna discuss Jerry Jones.
But not that awful.
Coming up. Actually, let's move him up.
Yeah, let's segue that right now. Perfect segue.
Moving on up. Bagging the trash now. Cowboys is an ass organization. They ain't pulling together. They just horrible out there. Dak went down, and so did the whole fucking organization. So, and everybody's been saying for quite some time that Jerry has too much control as the owner and the GM. He needs to let go. He needs to let go of the reins. So, bag the trash, John. To you first. Should Jerry Jones step down as GM? Bag the trash.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, look. He won some Super Bowls in the 90s. He has a very great roster. But the success trading system last Super Bowls has been down the drain. It's time for him just to be an owner. But I honestly, I'm not gonna say I understand him, but I can see why he just probably really loved being hands-on and being part of it. Like, he owns the team, but he really loves them so much. He has to this player, I want him. He just has to be a part of the whole process. So I can see that he probably really loves the game that much, and he loves his team that much.
But it's time for him to step down. I
think it's time for him to step down. But it doesn't look like he's not stepping down no time soon.
Definitely.
I'm not gonna say he's the full blame, because at the end of the day, he put a good roster together. You can't knock it. Cowboys do have a good roster. Who thought that?
Right. And then we expected more from their defense. Like, the defense is playing.
They definitely invested in their defense in the offseason. So Jerry Jones did get some players, but
it's just not panning out.
Not clicking. I don't know if I blame Jerry or blame Mike McCarthy. I don't know who gets more blame out of it too. It's just Jerry Jones been part of it, and it's been a consistent thing in the Cowboys' resume these past when they won a Super Bowl, 94, 95?
Last time they won was 94. Oh, wait, hold on. I have it written down here. Sorry. Last time they won was 95. 95.
95?
They won 92, 93, and 95.
I was 4 years old. 4.
Yeah.
All right, Kev.
When they last won the Super Bowl, my brother wasn't even born yet. He was in my mother's belly. So it's like,
where do babies come from, John?
The stork.
The bird that carries the baby.
The stork.
Yeah, the stork.
Right.
You know?
All right.
That's where babies come from.
Right. I wasn't ready for that conversation. I'm not old enough yet.
All right. Well, Eddie, going to you next. Should Jerry Jones step down as Cowboy GM? Bag of the trash.
Yeah. So geriatric Jerry.
That's what we're calling him.
Listen, man. He bought the team in 1989. He's been the acting GM since then. I think he's hanging his hat on a team that was built before he got there that ended up winning in 92. And then they went on to win in 98. That was the Jimmy Johnson era as well. And then again, both wins, by the way, were against the Buffalo Bills, which were the Because I Love Losing Super Bowl Buffalo Bills.
Right.
This was the Bills that went on to lose 4 Super Bowls in a fucking row. And then the last time they won was in '95. Like what John said, his mother was expecting a baby from the sport. There was no baby in her belly. That's not how it works. That's a 25-year drought. If you guys don't know how to do math, I sure do. I don't know how to do math, so I definitely use the calculator to figure that out. But it's a 25-year drought. So, I mean, what do we look for in GMs, right? So, again, in 25 years, if any other GM in the NFL had that kind of pull, unless your name is Marvin Lewis or fucking Bill O'Brien, and you got some dirt on the owner, there's no way you're keeping your job. So the main thing we look at, the main thing we look at with what's he gonna do? Fire himself? Just like the GM Bill O'Brien fired the coach Bill O'Brien, or did the coach Bill O'Brien fire the GM Bill O'Brien? That doesn't matter. But I mean, the other thing that we look at with GMs is how they draft. And I mean, Jerry Jones, to his credit, Michael Irvin was there before he got there. But his first year, he drafted Troy Aikman. His second year in the first round, these are only first-round picks. His second year, he drafted Emmitt Smith. And again, I don't know where these guys, like how they were being ranked, like, if it was like a duh pick, but I mean, Emmitt Smith in the 17th, with the 17th overall pick, I'm assuming Troy Aikman being the first overall was the right call. But in 91, he ended up having 3 first-round picks, getting Russell Maryland, getting Aaron Harper, Kelvin Pritchett, and Kevin Smith. Again, these guys did contribute to that team very well. But let's just try to update this a little bit more and kind of go into our era. In 2002, he drafted Rory Williams, one of the best safeties in the league at the time. Honestly, great Hall of Famer as well. Also drafted Terrence Newman. Drafted Terrence Newman in 2003. Drafted DeMarcus Ware in 2005. Drafted Des Bryant in 2019. And then again, let's not forget Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott, who was late. They built their quarterbacks off the late round picks. Tony Romo was undrafted. Dak Prescott was drafted in the 4th or 5th round.
Drafted the other Williams too. He was talented for 2 years, the wide receiver.
Right, the receiver. Yeah,
and then obviously this year with CeeDee Lamb. So, as far as evaluating talent goes, Jerry's the guy.
He's done well.
Yeah, no, but it's what the product that ends up constructing the rest of the team outside of the draft and with free agency hasn't gone well for him. So I think it's time for him. He's not like the Johnsons in New York. He's not like Jim Dolan with the Knicks. He's not a guy that doesn't know anything about the sport and wants to control the sport. These guys are supposed to, like, you look at like teams like Kansas City, you look at teams like San Francisco, who hire like a John Lynch to oversee their football operations, or a John Elway to oversee their football operations, who are football guys. They advise the general manager and they help the general manager. Jerry's already has a knack for talent. Dude, dish some of that stuff to somebody else, and maybe you can construct a roster that can actually win you another Super Bowl. But again, he's hanging his hat on that 92, 93, 95 series. But again, it's been a 25-year drought. So I'm going to bag the fact that he should step down. And again, still on the team, because even though as crazy as he is and as stupid as he is, I feel like he got hot sauce in his eye over the weekend too. So he's just getting really, really old. Yeah. But again, dude, just hire somebody and help them. You don't have to micromanage everything. I don't know what he's doing.
All right, Drew. Bag of the trash.
This is team.
I think he got half the talent. Let me get that straight. Like what they say, like most of his draft picks, like constructing that offensive line, even though that was like years ago since he kind of did that. Picking up wide receivers, he definitely has a knack for talent. But like he's like a he micromanages too much. Like it's like you're like that. It's like that boss that wants to fucking like come
micromanager. We know we hate him.
And see what you're doing every single day every single time of the fucking day. Like leave me the fuck alone, bro.
Drew feeling sometimes.
We're doing what we're doing. Like leave us alone. We can do our job. You don't have to be everywhere.
I can see.
Drew, you talking about your manager?
Right.
Yeah, that's what Drew's talking about. But I can see Jerry Jones doing that. But I feel like it's a different approach. His approach is like he's just so excited, like he's around. It's like, damn, that's the ball. He's just around because I just signed him. I like him. I draft him. I'm trying to see how they work in practice. I'm here. It's like obviously for the worker, it's like, damn, boss, yeah, I gotta show out. But I feel like in his point of view, it's more like he's just excited, like with the new stuff he got, this, that he's just. I feel like he's really passionate about the Cowboys.
I mean, like, you can be that. You can be that.
He just hasn't been working out the past couple.
Yeah, I'll be in a micromanager. Like you micromanage to a fault.
I don't think he micromanages them, but it may come off like that. But I don't think that's what he does.
No, it's like
it's one of those where he
it's like
I was saying this time he'll make a statement,
right?
And it's like.
It ain't really like micromanaging, but he's like he will put his opinion in, and because he's the owner, it's like that fear, right? It's that fear of like
you can't tell the boss no,
right? You can't tell the boss no and shit. So you're about to pick somebody, but Jerry be like, no, but I really like this guy. This is the guy, and then you like
that, or Jerry Jones.
Like,
they ask him you heard? They'll ask Jerry, what's the reason for that loss? And you the coach, and he throw a little shit at you. Like, he fuck with you, but he blame you for that loss. And they interview him first, and then they interview you. And he's like, you can't come at him, so you just got to play it off like,
what you gonna
Jerry?
Again, if I'm a guy that's going to be the general man, like again, like it's never going to happen. But if Jerry Jones calls me up, Jerry calls me up, and he's like, Eddie, I love the podcast. Subscribe every day, which you all should do, and follow at the OSA podcast on Instagram. If he called me up and he was like, "Hey man, like I want you to be the GM," and I'd be like, "Okay." If he was going to do that micromanaging shit, where he's just going to be like, "Hey, this is where you take the guy," and be like, "You know what, Jerry? Let me get the 4th, the 6th, the 5th, and the 7th round picks. You got the rest of them. All right? Let me sign 2 guys I want. You can sign whoever you want." So again, you gotta like give and take with Jerry. Jerry, you gotta let him go. So then when it comes time to, hey, this team sucks, I don't think you're a right fit. I'll be like, well, Jerry, you had the 1st, the 2nd, and 3rd overall picks. Like you had all 3 rounds. And also, you're the one that signed. You're the one that traded for Amari Cooper. I didn't trade for Amari Cooper. We already have. We just drafted CeeDee Lamb. Like, we don't need Amari. We could trade him. Like, I didn't decide to trade him. You decided to trade him. So, again, like, that's what it has to be. He has to find, again, whether it's his son, because I know his son's, like, pretty involved, whether it's his son or whether it's, like, I don't know, a guy like, I'm just going to throw him out there, even though he's making a shitload of money and probably won't do it. A guy like Tony Romo, a guy who's played for him, a guy who knows him, a guy who understands how he is, how he operates. If that's the route you have to go in, then that's the route you have to go in.
Jerry, the type of nigga, like, he'll come on and be like, hey, I really like y'all podcast. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to pick it up. And then we'll be like, cool, Jerry. That's good. He'd be like, okay, I have an idea for a segment. We'd be like, we ain't really fucking with it. But we ain't going to tell no fucking Jerry Jones no after he did brawls. We're going to be like,
no.
Jerry,
hey, I'm going to need you to I'm going to need you to stop calling me geriatric.
But I really have a good segment. And y'all should add it. We're going to be like, yeah, okay, Jerry.
Sure, Jerry.
You're right. You got it. So I feel like that's the issue that they have there. Is like Jerry is super passionate. He might not be a micromanager, but he puts himself so much into the picking of players and the personnel and the gameplay and shit like game decisions, where he's almost intimidating. Where it's like having the owner so involved, it's like, yo, you can't really tell him no. And then if you do say no, might be some issues there. And then if you don't listen to him, he's gonna still blame your ass. So it's like catch-22. Like he ain't gonna say I fucked up. He gonna say
you fucked up.
Right? They fucked up. But
again, that's what I say. That's what I mean. Like, it's that give and take, right? So it's like, if you if he decided to buy us and said, hey, like, I really like the segment. Okay, Jerry, we're gonna do that top. Like, that's where you think it's going to work. Like, we should start with that, right? He's going to be like, yeah, it's going to be great. And then we're like, okay, but like, but we're going to continue with the rest of the segments that we do. And he's going to say, yeah, of course, but I just want this segment at the top. Okay, Jerry. And then when people start looking at the comments and looking at their views, like, hey, that first segment sucks. Right. Where we just talk all Cowboys all the time and nothing else. Or we invite him to like, hey, that interview with Jerry was awful. Or like, hey, somebody get Jerry off the podcast. It's like, then it's like, hey, Jerry, like, I want to keep you on, but I mean, the data and the statistics say this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jerry gonna be like, you know what? I need these guys to be more of leaders and make hard decisions. Where sometimes you have to say no, but I don't think they do and shit. And that's like, damn, bro, you calling us pussy because we ain't telling you no and shit. All right, but that's that. Kev is gonna come back at some point, but we still
we try to stall.
We try to stall as much as we can. Now we're still in the NFL. There's only one undefeated team left, and that's them Pittsburgh Steelers, 6-0. So bag of the trash. Going to you first, John. With the 6-0 record, is the Steelers the best team in the NFL? Bag of trash.
I'm going to trash it.
Tell them what it is, John.
So who the best, John?
Tell them what it is.
Look, they're a really, 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 really good team. But the Titans was a good test, I would say. But I feel like out of the teams they played, they haven't played that one, like, I guess you give now Titans. Titans was undefeated also. But the Steelers look really, really, really good. But I can't say that the Steelers, even though they have a better record, I cannot say the Steelers is better than
the Chiefs.
Kansas City Chiefs with Pat Mahomes.
Okay.
All right, Drew, bag of the trash.
And for you, Ed, I think the
Buccaneers. I
knew that.
I'm not gonna lie, that was part of my take. I just said that because of Ed, but I really think the Chiefs is the best team in football.
No, and I totally agree with John. I'm going to trash it because I think the Chiefs are the best team in football. Like, don't get me wrong, I you'll probably be second, but or third because Seahawks is right there, even though their defense is not.
Seahawks suck.
Seahawks
frauds. Frauds.
How you say frauds?
They're frauds. Their defense sucks.
All right, Drew. So, Drew, you bagging it or trash? You trash it? Right?
I'm trashing. They're
not gonna lie. Hold on. Real quick. The Steelers was killing the Titans, but what happened? They went through some picks and put them right.
Titans came back. Yeah. Titans almost came back. But why didn't the Titans win that game?
All right, so back to the trash. Is Steelers the best team in the NFL?
So, reluctantly, I'm going to trash it because, again, I do think that there are better teams in the NFL. But if there is a team that can shut down the so glorious Kansas City Chiefs, they're becoming the fucking Warriors to me where I just don't even want them to win anymore. I loved it in the beginning, and now I hate it.
When they start to get all these pieces and shit, it becomes unfun.
Even though I love everyone that plays on that team, love the Honey Badger, love Travis Kelce, love Le'Veon Bell, love Patrick Mahomes, love all these guys, Tyreek Hill, all these guys. I love them all. I just don't like when it becomes too overhyped. I used to rock with the Kansas City Chiefs because my guy Herman Edwards went over there. The Trent Green days, you know what I mean? When my coach got fired on some bullshit, and then he went to Kansas City. But let's just call it what it is. The Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Again, if there's anyone that's going to give Kansas City a run for their money, it's going to be Pittsburgh. They are the number one ranked defense. And again, they're not – Big Ben doesn't have to do too much. John shouted out that he threw away those 2 picks. They're the 26th ranked offense in passing, but they're also the 12th in rushing. They're also number one defense against the run. They are third with allowing passing touchdowns, and they've only allowed 4 rushing touchdowns. That's fucking crazy. I mean, eventually this team's going to heat up in the level that they don't need to. Ben's not going to have to do enough. Like we said with Peyton during that Broncos run. Like we said with Jimmy Garoppolo during this last recent playoff run. Like we saw with the 49ers this past week. You don't have to be this amazing run guns. Again, I know everyone loves the like chicks love the long ball, and they dig these like high scoring offenses and these dynamic offenses with these quarterbacks doing crazy shit. Big Ben channeled his inner Patrick Mahomes and chucked for one to Eric Ebron. I don't know if you guys saw that play.
Yeah.
That was
shuffle throw?
Yeah. It wasn't even a shuffle. He was like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I hope you catch it.
That was horrible.
Yeah, I know he didn't try for that to happen, but it turned into a positive play anyway. Things are breaking right for this team, and I've never seen a defense play like this, like for Pittsburgh, since the Troy Polamalu days, since the Steel
Lamar Woodley days.
But again, I think look, listen, if there's anyone who knows what a Pittsburgh Steelers defense can do to win a championship, it's me, man. I was there in 2009. I was there in 10, and I watched this team go on to win Super Bowls afterwards. It sucked. It wasn't fun. But once I broke down the game, I realized that defense was better than ours, even though we were known for I think at the time we were the number 1 ranked defense. They deserve to be the number 1 over us.
All right, Kev, bag of trash is Steelers the best team in the NFL.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a hands down thing.
Hey, damn.
Not in the NFL, but like second best, but in their division, I think so.
I ain't saying
not
division.
NFL.
I said NFL.
Okay, I can't wait for our picks. I can't wait.
I'll say yeah. Then they're definitely the most complete as of right now.
Thank you for finally coming around.
No, they are.
I said that last week.
Kev, but 2 weeks ago when we did our power rankings, you said that the Steelers were frauds, and I ranked them way, way higher, and you were all in on the Seattle Seahawks. Check back on the episode.
I didn't say that.
No, you were all in. You were all in on the Seahawks. You ranked them number 2. Check the tape.
I had what
you doubted yourself, Kevin.
I don't know.
I remember saying check the tape. Nah, check the tape definitely, because I remember saying the Steelers are the most complete team out of that top 10.
You said that last week, but I'm talking about like 2-3 weeks ago. You were not in.
Here we go.
You were not in. You were not in.
All right.
With your doppelganger, by the way.
Yeah. But again, I like the Steelers. I'm going to trash it right now. I think late in the season, because we have seen, even though the Chiefs to me is the best team, when they go up against a real good defense over the course of the season, we've seen they've had troubles.
Eddie, you didn't even have the Steelers in your 5.
They were right on the outside looking in.
So,
but I was hyping them.
Oh.
No, Eddie had moved.
No, I moved the Steelers up higher in the second round of the rankings.
Yeah, and I think both of them were saying like Steelers were like 6, and they moved. Eddie had them and then moved like the Packers or some shit like that. He did something.
Yeah, I did something. I know I've been rooting for these guys.
But
Steelers
again,
because it pains me. On a personal level, I fucking hate the Steelers.
Yeah, he did something like that where he was like he mentioned the Steelers, but he didn't put them in. Like he mentioned like I want to swap or I should swap, some shit like that. He said. Yeah. But he did mention them like, and they was his honorable mention. But just going back to that, this Steelers team do remind me of that Denver Broncos team where QB is a shell of himself, don't have to do much, but the defense is fucking nasty. And I think later in the season, if they come across each other, Steelers, that defense is going to be the part that take them like to the Super Bowl, and that just be what it is and shit. So I'm gonna trash it at this point because I still got the Chiefs. I still got the Bucks over the Steelers as well. But
talk that shit,
but again, when it comes late in the season, when shit started, the season gets short, that's when the defense will step up, and I think Steelers have the best defense.
And shit gets tough, good old GOAT is gonna stick his horns out and grind it out. That's what the GOAT is.
All right, John. And what was the last one? Okay, this stepping away from football. Now, we just know Khabib just won and retired after his last fight. And all over social media, as well as in sports talk and podcasts, they're ranking Khabib as UFC's GOAT, the MJ of UFC. This is, and again, we could be prisoners of the moment. A lot of people, and again, he's a great fighter. He hasn't lost in his division, undefeated in his division, and he's retiring. How most people like to retire. 13-0 on top. He's the GOAT. But again, people are prisoners of the moment, and I can think of a bunch of them, at least 3 right now that if they was to come up against Khabib in their prime, they will cook his ass. So I'm gonna go to you first, Drew. Bag of trash is Khabib the UFC GOAT?
I would say yeah, but the whole narrative is people like the undefeated because it's same 6'6" Michael Jordan. Fucking Floyd Mayweather never lost a fight. Now it's Khabib, never lost in the UFC. People like the undefeated. The undefeated is what crowns you like your best in your sport per se. If you're undefeated, that's what it is.
Hold on, John. Let him talk, John.
Yeah.
It's the whole conversation of the undefeated, bro.
Right,
if you're undefeated, you're great.
All right, John. So he bagged it. John, bag of the trash is Khabib the GOAT, UFC.
Great.
I am gonna trash it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna trash it. He's great fighter. I feel like if he went a little longer, I will give it to him. He's great though. He is great.
He's gonna be back.
If he went a little longer,
he's gonna be back. Kev, for the reasons he gave, I believe he's tired.
Bro, what you talking about? He gonna say
like I feel like.
You said what, John? Go ahead.
I was gonna say the whole undefeated thing. Obviously, in fighting, when you really, there's a few fighters that finish their career undefeated. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, do you consider most probably like the people that really follow the sport will have them in the conversation, but like to like the outside viewer thing, like to us, it's like everybody like outside that who don't know who they are. Would they still consider them? Obviously, we all know Floyd.
If we don't know you gotta know of the guy, because if you don't watch the sport, you can say no, but if you really know, you know. I'd say if you know, you know.
I'm gonna give you a similar example. Is a fighter, I believe he retired 40-something or 50-0. Somewhere around there. His last 2 fights, he beat Roy Jones and he beat Bernard Hopkins. You ever heard of Joey Calzaghe?
No.
Yes,
Was he white? Was he white?
Yeah.
That's why we never heard of him.
But his last 2 fights, he beat up Roy Jones and he beat up B-Hop. We know who Roy Jones and B-Hop is.
Right.
Of course.
I know who that is.
He beat both of them. And then he retired. But I'm gonna look up his record, but he's like 40-something or something like that. But that's my point. Like Khabib, he's undefeated.
He's undefeated. He's undefeated, bro. But I would say, it's mainly the undefeated record what everybody's hyped up about.
Joey Calzaghe is 46-0, and he won 32 fights by knockout.
Never heard of him. Kev, bag of trash. Is
good fighter though.
Could be the GOAT, UFC.
I say trash it only because I feel like 13-0 is nice, but he needs to play.
29.
He needs to fight a lot more fights.
29 as a full fight, but in the UFC because
29 pro, but 13-0 UFC.
UFC 13-0, but before professional fighting, 29-0. UFC, yeah.
I still think for that level, I feel like he needs more wins at that level, and I think he'd be back. I understand, and Khabib, I know you listen to us, so rest in peace to your father, but I think his dad is gonna come to him like in his dreams or something and be like, yo, what are you doing? I want you back out there. And I think he's gonna be back, bro. So to be determined is how I really take it right now. So
but I think
passionate for now.
I agree with that.
Someone told me, but his mother told him to stop fighting. You heard Kev? His mother told him to stop.
His mother told him, he was saying that in his like post fight when he was talking about it. Like my mother told me to stop. Like I'm not going. I'm not going to go without my father.
They still mourning, bro. They still mourning, bro. He'll be back.
But
the man fought a bear and beat a bear. The man swimming upstream in a river. Like, come on, son.
He is a beast, but also, if you're doing overall GOAT, because obviously there's different weight classes. John Jones is also in the GOAT talk, because I don't see anybody being John Jones anytime soon. And who
GSP.
I think is
I'm gonna get to it.
GSP too, but my UFC GOAT in his peak, in his prime, nobody was fucking with him. Silva.
Yeah, I'm also gonna get to it.
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say? That's who I got down. Obviously,
right
to the end of his career, shit didn't go, but peak prime, if we're going peak prime, his record may not show, but peak prime, nobody was fucking with Silva.
All right, Eddie, bag of the trash.
Yeah, love when I get stepped on. Guys, I was gonna get to it. So a couple things, obviously. You guys know how I feel about the UFC. There was like super early where I was into it, and then just kind of got over it when everybody was, all over it. So if you Google UFC GOAT, Khabib shows up. Yes, he has this 29-0 professional record. Only lost 2 rounds. Obviously, the UFC is only a 3-round ballot, so he potentially only lost 2 out of 87 rounds. That's pretty freaking impressive, right? So here's something that we have to really understand, though, is that the UFC started in 1993. It didn't get super popular until about 2007. Now, in that time, you had guys like, again, currently you have John Bones, Coke Jones, doing what he's doing, or not doing what he's doing anymore because he's retired, but he's going to come back or whatever. But GSP did go 20-2. Well, whatever he is, GSP, who is
I'm gonna let you take the tape, but he put out the video. Basically saying, John Jones said, "I ain't retired. I'm okay. He said, I'm 32, 33." He said he's basically saying he was the GOAT. Khabib has to win more championships, and GSP has to come back and win 2 more titles for him to talk to him. Basically, John Jones.
Is he gonna fight Izzy? Is John Jones gonna fight Izzy?
I want him to. I think John Jones wins that, but
Izzy's gonna smoke him.
All right, Eddie, make your point. Point.
So my point is that yes, there is a GSP who did go 20-2, and Anderson Silva who won 16 straight and potentially fought a little after his prime. Again, UFC is a gladiator sport. You can't do that forever. So I understand what happens when guys try to stay there longer. So for that reason, I'm going to trash it. I don't think the UFC is old enough to declare their GOAT. You know what I mean? Like we know who our GOATs are in our major sports. I think it's too early to proclaim a GOAT in a sport that has so many great athletes and so many of them that we've seen.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna trash it too, and I could be. And again, this is where I get to the prisoner on the moment, as well as UFC fighters fighting beyond their prime. Now, I respect Khabib for leaving while he's on top. The thing about, and I look at it as the golden age of UFC, that 2000 and 2007, when we had GSP, when we had BJ Penn, when we had Anderson Silva. Like, UFC to me, and again, I don't watch it as much as I used to. To me, I think those athletes were world class and like the best. I don't know if UFC, because I don't watch it as much, and it hasn't been good enough for me, to, at least in my personal opinion, to keep watching it. Or I catch somebody that I like, and then I'll follow them, and then I'll catch a few matches. But during that time, it was a lot of great fighters, a lot of great matches, and therefore you can have that debate. But people like GSP in his prime, I think, and again, that's because I saw GSP compared to what I see from Khabib. The mercenary GSP was, to me, his skill level will fucking tear Khabib up. And that's just my opinion. Anderson Silva, skill level in his prime will kill Khabib. Now, again, like Drew said, can't argue a motherfucker being 13-0.
It's a high weight class, though.
Yeah, but Anderson Silva is a motherfucker who will move back and forth just to show motherfuckers that they can't fuck with him. But again, to Drew's point, he 13-0, 29-0 professional. You can't really debate shit like that because I didn't lose. And we grew up in that era of UFC where it was shit, the best.
Yeah, Silver's too big for him.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, when they have that GOAT talk and shit like that, it's, again, the people, to me, are prisoners of the moment because this is them seeing this GOAT, but they didn't really grow up in that time to say, like, yo, compared to what they were doing at this time, it's not the same. So I'll trash it. He's a great fighter. He will be one of the legends. He is one of the legends, but I'm trashing it. I've seen a lot more skilled fighters in the UFC to me that I think if he was plopped in that time, it would be a little different. But that's just my opinion. But that's
GSP and him could afford the welterweight division, so that's why they match up Khabib and GSP. Silva for middleweight and light heavy, so that's a class above.
And
Silva probably would have lost the weight to go down and fight.
And that's what I'm saying. If this talk was at that time, Silva would have went down just to show them that he and give his ass a front kick and knock him the fuck out. But that's my opinion. That's back to trash it.